I wasn't very surprised by the expropriation of YPF. The signals that the Kirchner government has been putting out to the market really since 2003 when her husband was elected president have been very much along the line of a state-run economy. I mean, it's been a gradual process, little by little. They've been taking more and more economic freedom away from the Argentines and giving it to the state. So Repsol was just another step in that process. Also, I think that the economy is slowing down in Argentina, so she's looking for more and more things that she can do that would create kind of a populist support for her. And since oil is considered the patrimony of the people of Argentina in the minds of people like Cristina Kirchner, when she takes the oil company and says now it belongs to the Argentines, she expects, you know, some kind of popular support for that, and she needs it right now because the economy is slowing down. Obviously, it's going to be very bad for the people of Argentina, not only because we know that states don't do a very good job of running businesses, and YPF will need a lot of investment. It will need technology if it's going to develop the new sources of oil that have been found in the country, and gas as well. And they're not going to get that investment from abroad, I'm afraid, because now Argentina is going to be considered a more risky country to do business in because property rights are not respected. It seems so. I mean, I don't know if it will go that far because Venezuela has been able to do a lot of the consolidation of power, because it has very rich oil resources that are already explored, and all of that money is in the hands of the state. Now, in the case of Argentina, she doesn't have the money yet. I mean, they know the oil's there, but she's got to get it out of the ground. And if she's not successful in doing that, without that money, she's not going to be able to consolidate power. I also think that Argentina is slightly better off in terms of the education of the people, understanding the importance of liberty. And so I think she may run into a little bit more resistance than Hugo Chavez did, but it's more or less in the same vein. No, I don't think they're there yet, but surely they're heading that way. I mean, I think that a lot of their survival depends on the high price of commodities. And if the commodity boom, which has really been supported by an easy money policy at the Federal Reserve in the United States, were to end and commodity prices were to go down at all, they would suffer a lot. Argentina is already suffering it. And you know, on top of that, it's just 10 years of bad management of the economy in Venezuela is, you know, eventually you're going to pay for that. So in Venezuela you have a lot of inflation, and you also have very high crime rates. So there is a crisis of sorts in Venezuela, but I don't know that it's at the end yet. I think that there's still ability for these dictatorships, really, you have a dictatorship in Venezuela, to continue for some years ahead. Right now, I think it's a statistical dead heat. It's too hard to say whether Mitt Romney can beat President Obama. I think a lot of that will depend on how the economy performs in the next 2 to 3 months. I would say by the end of September, you know, if the economy does not pick up, it's going to be more and more difficult for President Obama to be reelected. You know, you do have a falling unemployment rate, technical unemployment rate, but that seems to be achieved by a falling labor participation rate. In other words, the number of people who are actually looking for a job are going down because so many people have given up. So that is not a sign that the economy is picking up. I think it's going to be difficult for President Obama to win in November if we do not see more of a pickup in the US economy. There are things I like about both of the candidates. Ron Paul, I think, did a lot for the campaign because he affected the debate. He pushed the debate more in the area of liberal economics. My impression is that his view on U.S. foreign policy was a little bit too isolationist. I would like to see a country that is more engaged, including on things like immigration. I mean, I don't believe that we should build a wall along the southern border of the United States. I think that the immigrants who come to the United States are an asset, and I think we should find a way to fix the Immigration and Naturalization Service so that we can process people who want to move to the United States and work. They are an asset to our economy. So, you know, that's just one example of where I differed with Ron Paul. I also think that we have a role in the world. Our military has a role in the world. It may not be as active as it's been in the last 5 or 10 years, but I don't think that we should completely pull back and not be anywhere in the world, which was a difference of opinion I had with Ron Paul. But I think on monetary issues, on the size of the government in Washington, he was completely right. And I'm sorry to say that I don't think Mitt Romney has those same convictions. I think that he will not be as robust in trying to shrink the size of government. So that's an unfortunate thing. But I do think either one of them would be better than the current occupant of the White House. There's a lot of hope for professional journalism. Are you kidding me? We're probably never been in a better situation than we're in right now. We have lots of avenues to speak to our readers, and that means that we can, there's a real competition going on of ideas, and nobody who has a good idea is kept from expressing that idea. You know, there is a challenge about how we monetize our ideas. Readers want to be able to trust the sources that they're listening to. And that is a quality that people will pay for. And so I think there's technology has allowed us to get to those people, and eventually, as we figure out where the markets are, I think we'll be able to monetize our ideas once again the way we did with print journalism.